When last we had this gospel, I taught specifically on the gospel, but many of you didn't like that. So this time I will teach briefly on the gospel and then do the lesson. What Christ is speaking of when he talks about the scribes being hypocrites, paying tithes of mint and dill, he's talking about how they have not done their jobs. They have not done the law in parts of judgment, mercy, and fidelity. And all they do is worry about the weights of the mint, the dill, and the cumin, because they determine the weights and the taxes. But they, rather than worrying about the judgment of individuals guilty, they worry more greatly about the taxes of these wee little tiny spices or herbs. And then in the second part, he talks about them being hypocrites again. Because in the first part, he's saying you strain out the gnat, the wee little thing, but you swallow the camel, meaning you pay attention to that which is small, but then you end up eating this huge, monstrous thing. In the second part, woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, you hypocrite! You cleanse the outside of the cup and dish, but inside they are full of plunder and self-indulgence. That will get into the gospel tomorrow. This is talking about the cleansing that we spoke of just last week, which gets into tomorrow. They are cleaning the outside of their dishes, but not the inside. The inside is where all of the evil, where all of the dirt that needs to be cleansed is, but they clean only the outside of the cup and the dish and the plate. So remember that for tomorrow, okay? Now, this lesson on the nature of humanity was a bit facetious when I did it. If you see it on Facebook, you'll understand what I'm speaking of. We are human, therefore sin is inevitable. This doesn't mean you are therefore excused for your sin, because it was inevitable due to your nature. Here is a story about two creatures arguing about the nature of the things. A scorpion asked a turtle for a ride across the river. The turtle refused. "You'll sting me, and I'll die." "No, I won't," the scorpion assured. "This is my only way across the river, and I'll sting you. If I'll sting you, I'll die too." The turtle thought about it and decided to do it, figuring that the scorpion surely wouldn't do anything to harm himself. So the turtle met the scorpion at the shoreline, and he clambered up on the shell. They were in the middle of the river. The water was moving very quickly when the sweet, trusting turtle feels the fateful sting. "You've killed us both," the turtle cried out as he started to drown. "Why did you sting me?" "I couldn't help myself. It's just in my nature," the scorpion replied as he, too, drowned. Unlike the scorpion, we can resist temptation. We aren't driven by irresistible urges to sin, and neither must we steal, lie, covet, rape, damage the property of another, cheat on our relationship, or worship a craven idol, kill, bring gun to places of worship or shoot those who bullied us because we've decided we don't want to resolve the issues any longer. We always have a choice. God gave us free will and allowed us to determine our own outcomes in life. We are not in any way predestined to do something or to be something. It is all within our power. Each day, choose well. Each day, pray for guidance. And when you do sin, inevitably, ask for forgiveness of the person whom you have sinned against. And always, never ever fail to do this. Beg forgiveness of God and the Christ for your offending them, for violating their love and their trust. For every sin bruises the love God feels for you. Find a way to balance it again. Some penance or gift of service you can do that will again give the relationship in balance. And never lead or cause anyone else to sin, else you carry the burden of that sin on your soul until or unless that person releases you from it. If not released, you are held bound for eternity. Once stained, your soul can only be made clean again by God. And then it isn't as pure white as it once was, when no stain of mortal sin has never been attached to it. It shows the scar, if you will, of the past offenses forgiven. Here is an example of an act of contrition that you can say to God when you are asking for His forgiveness. Oh my God, I am heartily sorry for having offended you, and I detest all my sins, because I dread the loss of heaven and the pains of hell. But most of all, because they offend you, my God, who are all good and deserving of all my love. I firmly resolve, with the help of your grace, to sin no more and avoid the near occasions of sin. Amen. And may the peace of the Lord be with each of you always. Amen.